Welcome to the Lancaster Insurance Classic Motor Show, online edition with Discovery. I'm delighted that we're being joined by our headline sponsor, Andrew Evanson, who is the Senior Operations Manager of Lancaster Insurance. We've known each other for years, but during this lockdown, we're at a distance, and I don't like it because right now we should be, well, having a beer together in a hotel just before we go out on stage at the NEC. So Andrew, thank you very much for joining me. How's things, mate?
Yeah, we're in pretty good shape. We're in pretty good shape, thanks, Mike. It's been lockdown and COVID has been an interesting time for us all. Insurance business has been it was pretty worrying to start off with when we went into lockdown back in March. I think we've come out of the other end of it quite nicely. The sad thing for a lot of classic car enthusiasts is there was no ability to be able to buy and sell a car, which obviously meant our sales went down a little bit, but no issue. As soon as we started coming back out of lockdown, the community started ramping it up, probably more than ever, if anything, and things went a little bit crazy at that time, and now they've settled down a little bit, to be fair. I think we've been through the rough ride that everybody has. But we're coming out at the end of it quite strong. Hopefully, the same sort of classic car industry is going to as well.
Well, it certainly is good for you. Most of those new subscriptions, I'll call them if you like, your new customers, are possibly me, because during lockdown, I just went crazy and bought several more classic cars. So, yeah, you're my insurer. And so, yeah, that would have been me on the phone, phoning the office. I want another one on there. I want another one on there. So, yeah, thank you for looking after me insurance-wise. Let's talk about how me and you know each other, and it's the big shows that we do each year at the NEC. This is the online edition. We're absolutely heartbroken that we can't be in touch with the public like we normally are. We usually spend amazing time together, not only outside of the show, but within the show, particularly on your amazing stands that you erect. And your stands, you theme them every year. They are a destination point for people to come to once they're in the shows. How long have you been involved in the Classic Car Show?
So Lancaster Insurance has been involved. I mean, Lancaster Insurance itself has been going to the Classic Car Show for at least 25 years. Ourselves actually sponsoring the Classic Car Show. We've been doing that since 2013 now. So this year should have been, get my maths right, should have been our 8th year. Sadly, it's not. So we our first stand was what we call the Decades, and that was pretty special. That was where we did the 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 50s. We even had David Soul's Gran Torino on our stand. We had one of my favourites, probably from my youth, a Mark 1 Astra GTE. So that was pretty fantastic. I mean, I can go through a lot of the stands, but we had the big screen in 2014. We had the Pontiac Firebird for Knight Rider. What an amazing car. The DeLorean and the Ecto 1, it's called, isn't it? If anybody knows
right, yes.
Ghostbusters car. It's a Cadillac. I mean, if anybody's seen that in the flesh, which hopefully anybody who went to the show did, that is humongous, that car is. It's absolutely massive. I'd like to have it myself, maybe go camping in it or something. But yeah, we've done some amazing stands. I mean, to put my finger on some of the best ones, I think She's a Beauty. Mike, you were involved in that. That's we did the stand called Miss World. So we had a number of cars from around the globe. I mean, that was fantastic, and that came to kind of a nice ending with you awarding. Everybody voted, I think, for their favourite car on the stand, and you gave the award away. Yeah, what a fantastic show that was, a fantastic stand. The Bloodhound we had on our stand once.
Yeah, I remember that. My personal favourite is the Classic Rumble.
I was coming to that one. That was a bit later on. That's what I mean. We have done quite a few now. We've been in there for a while. The Classic Rumble, 100%. That's definitely up there. You and Ant, going head to head. Wow, your XR3i and Ant's, it was a Grand. He kind of made a sort of replica of a Grand Prix 1950s vehicle. I mean, who was the winner of that one, Mike?
Well, I think the charity was the winner because we put the two cars in the auction and we was waiting with bated breath. And when you looked at Ant's car, it's a 1953 Alfa Romeo Formula One winning car. It's the car that won the first ever Grand Prix, Formula One Grand Prix. And then you looked at the XR3, which was put together amazingly by Blokey, who did an amazing job on it. And the two cars just were so different so different. And we put them both through the auctions. And we stood aghast when the XR3 actually made more money than the Alpha. And we stood aghast. But all the money went to charities, and it was organised by you and your amazing team.
Hammers up every chance. Second time at £20,000. Sold it away at £20,000. 14,000 and 15,000 surely, and he bids. It's gonna be a time at £20,000. All done.
And, I just remember the results were just fantastic because, you know, we did so much good for charity then.
Absolutely. And that's something we like to try and blend into a lot of our stands as well. We did Margot the Mini.
Yeah.
1 year, if I'm sure you remember that.
You remember very well.
Sold for quite a lot of cash on the Silverstone auction stand. That all went to prostate cancer, which was a great thing to be able to do. I mean, we do a number of things, obviously, with sporting bears as well. We do that each year. I mean, just going back to some of the stands, some I think probably one of my favourite ones has got to be the Top Trumps one as well last year. What a theme.
Yeah, brilliant.
Everybody loves Top Trumps, especially from our era. We even brought out our own Lancaster special edition pack, which hopefully most people have got.
Mine's here somewhere. Mine's stacked on these shelves. But I don't think I got one pack. I think I've got a couple of packs. I just remember, do you know, it was so funny that doing the Top Trumps, because we did it on the Thursday night, which was once we built the stands, we come over to your stand and I did the Twitter takeover with the gang. And then we had a play of it. And Ant is incredibly competitive. And I think I won. And so that meant that at the end of the second day, which would have then been Friday, all he wanted to do was get over back to your stands as soon as the show finished and the audience had gone, so we could go and play it again so he could have a go at beating me. And I do believe we played it like every night after the shows were on. So we'd just go over there just so he could win. He just needed to win. And it was such a great thing to do. And the memory of people going home with that Top Trumps pack of cards as well was absolutely brilliant.
Absolutely, yeah. We had so many people coming to our stand talking about it, because our stand was, as everybody's stand, was all about Top Trumps. But it was a really nice thing to be able to do. Something we try and do at nearly all the shows. We try and have some kind of novelty, something to interact with the audience. We had Play Your Cars Right. I think you had a go at that one.
I did, yes.
And we always kind of have a bit of a social wall. We like to try and, you know, get things out there. We've always used that, going back to the charity point. We use the social wall to always kind of give away freebies and a bit of a donation to prostate cancer. I think with 1 year we did, and we've done sporting bears as well. 1 year was taking pictures of people in moustaches. Another one was taking pictures of people in a mock-up MX-5. So yeah, it's trying to get that customer engagement. It's one of the things we come to the show for, really, is to talk to our customers, talk to the clubs, talk to like-minded enthusiasts. Really, gives us loads of ideas, gives us a chance to give back to that community.
It certainly does. It certainly does. But not only that, Ev, the one thing that I will say about coming over to the Lancaster Insurance stand is that when people come to a car show, they expect that they're going to walk in a halls. It's going to be quite fusty. You're going to have people there in blazers and old school ties, and they're all going to be standing around their MGAs going, oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And there is an element of that at the classic car shows. But there's this little bundle of fun that's always there in that hall. And it's you guys. It's always, you've wrapped insurance up with fun. Every time you come across to your stand, there's something mad going on, or there's something fun going on, or there's something engaging for the customers going on. And I think the audience really embrace that. You know, you come to a car show to not only be entertained by the cars that you're looking at, but if you can be entertained as well by an insurance company, then you must be doing something right.
Again, yeah, I've said many a times, insurance is not always the most exciting thing to talk about. People care about it because they care about their pride and joy, but it's not the most exciting thing to talk about. So we try and, again, make it engaging, try and make it fun. This is what we do in our office. It's what we do all day, every day, is people work hard, but it's all about having a bit of fun as well, definitely. I mean, you hit the nail on the head when you're talking about the people in the blazers and things like that, and how it could probably be a little stuffy sometimes. But this is why we sponsor the show, really. It's not just because it is the biggest. It's the world's biggest show, isn't it? What is it, 70,000 people? I think you get circa that most years. Well, that's more than most football crowds, to be fair. So it's pretty impressive. But the club presence there, it grows every year. It's absolutely that's unbelievable. I can't remember how many clubs there were meant to be coming this year. We're talking 250 odd clubs, I think, at a guess, roughly. I mean, the bit that I love the most about it is the variety of the cars. I mean, you can go to lots of different individual car shows, and there can be a range of cars, but it can quite often be a similar cars. But this has got absolutely everything. It's not just about your £1 million cars. It's some of it's about your cars that are worth far less. I mean, no car is unwelcome, I think, at that show almost is how I look at it. It reminds me of. So I was going to say, it always reminds me that my favourite car at the show, of all the shows we've been going to, is probably it's a guy called James Cribb bought it. I don't know if you remember it. It was a light blue Austin Metro City, and that kind of sums that show up for me because it was absolutely stunning. The car was brought back to its original condition.
I remember it.
Yeah, it was all the stuff behind the car. You remember it because he won the Pride of Ownership. So obviously you were there. But it was all about because the guy had his wife bought it originally, and she wouldn't let it disappear. She wouldn't let it go to the junkyard in the sky. So, and she kept it. And really sadly, she died, and I think the guy kept it for a bit longer. And he decided, right, I'm going to do this up. So that's the story. It's really sad, but the story behind it is it's unbelievable. And that's just one example. There's so many of those examples, I think. So.
Yeah, what's good about that is, as you say, it's all about the stories, isn't it, that's behind the cars. And I remember that Metro very, very well. And I remember saying to him, you've probably spent as much money restoring this car as somebody would with a Ferrari. You know, it's just that this car means so much to you, and a Ferrari meant so much to somebody else, that you just wanted to restore this car. You just touched upon that's the fun side of the Lancaster Insurance Classic Motor Show at the NEC. That's the fun side, but there is a rather now very serious side, which we've sort of created, and it's the pride of ownership. Because that started off as just, let's get some people there to show off their cars. And now it's become so very, very serious that each year the bar is raised. And now it's become a massive talking point, and that's sponsored by you.
And that's why I was laughing then, because I totally agree. It's become so competitive. It's
ridiculous.
It's funny, but that's what these people. That's what the community's like, aren't they? Everybody's so into it that they're so passionate about it. They want to win, don't they? So, but yeah, we sponsor that for that very reason. To be given the opportunity to sponsor it, I think, is amazing, because it's my favourite part of the show. I'm not just saying that. That is my favourite part of the show, because it brings together individuals. All kinds of different cars, totally different. I mean, Andrea selects them ever so well, because they're all very different. And again, well, like I say, it was like the chap with the Austin Metro. You can be from an Austin Metro up to all kinds of different cars. I mean, I've got my favourites. I think there was a black Mark 1 RS Escort on there, which was so beautiful. I'd love to have had that. Absolutely love to have had. The chap's name, I think, is Robert Sargent, who had the Savage.
I remember that.
Is it V6 3000 Cortina?
Yeah, the Cortina Savage.
Yeah, he dropped it. Well, he didn't drop it. He'll kill me saying that. It fell off it came off the truck, didn't it, in 1 year? And sadly, it did loads of damage. So the guy went to town on it, and it came back out the next year, and it won it. I offered him free insurance, not realising quite how much it was worth, I think. But it's a stunning display of cars. It really is, absolutely.
And that's one of the highlights of the show for me. I get to go over and announce the winner. Andrea drags me around after the halls are empty in the evening. I get to do my Beyonce tour, because I can't walk around during the day. I have to go when the place is shut down. And she drags me over to walk through the pride of ownership, so I can just have a little bit of a view on what I think should be the best cars. And the eclectic range of cars, from a Metro, you know, an Austin 7, a Metro, all the way up to somebody who's got a, you know, 50 grand Ferrari, whatever it is. You know, there's this vast range of cars, and the judging for that is so difficult, because how do you choose? You know, you're not judging like for like, you're judging pride of ownership, you know, just how much they put into these cars. And a lot of these people as well, and it's worth noting, they don't actually belong to car clubs. These are individuals that have not joined, you know, the Austin Metro Club or the Austin 7 Club. They're just people who are on the fringes. They're a little bit shy, but they get invited to the show and they put their car on display. They get to stand there, and all that happens the whole weekend is people just want to talk to them, and it opens them up. It gives them an experience. I absolutely love that part of the show, and oh my God, I'm missing it this year. I'm so missing it.
Absolutely. That, like I say, we're always next to that stand as well, so we get to take it all in, quite a lot of it. But as you say, they're not necessarily members of the club. Every car has a backstory on that stand. That's what it's all about, I think, for me.
Yeah, and it's stories that drive our industry. You know, I always say, let's celebrate the story behind the car as well as the car itself, because you never know where that car come from. And you know, that Metro is a perfect example. It's a memory of somebody's wife, and that's why it's so important to him. It's gutting that we can't be together, Andrew. I'm still going to exercise your bar tab allowance once this lockdown 2 is over, because you are quite generous at the bar when we do meet. So I'm going to keep that tab open, and I would like to have the chance to at least exercise it.
Any time. We do that on purpose, not just for you. We do it. We like to. It's not just the bar tab. We like to take as many staff as possible and let them have a good time, not just at the bar, but having a good time in general, because that's really important for us. We do it with a couple of the clubs that we're involved with. We actually take them to the clubs. You know, when we have new starters, we take them to the clubs. We show them around if the club have got like a base, and let them have a little bit of a look at what's going on. But we like to take our staff, as many, I mean, I think we must have taken up to 30, 40 staff one year, just so that they all had a chance to go around and say, these are the people that you are working with. These are the people that you're selling insurance to. It's an amazing industry. They are, some of the ones that have not been into cars perhaps in the past, they get into it. They get it. You have, I think sometimes you have to go to something like that to get it, don't you? If you've never been exposed to it before.
Yeah, you certainly do. And I'm gutted we're not doing it this year. Can't wait to see you again, Andrew, you and the gang. Please pass on from us, everyone here at the NEC, everyone that's behind the scenes, you know, the team and the gang of people that we work with. Please pass on our respects to everyone there at Lancaster Car Insurance. Happy Christmas. Have an amazing new year. We will get through it, and we'll be back together next year.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. It's been a long year without any shows at all. So, same back to you guys. Same back to the Clarion guys who put on the show. They're a great. You're all a great bunch of guys. We all have a great relationship, and it seems to work a bit like a horse and carriage. It really does.
It certainly does. It certainly does.
Yeah. Same to you guys. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. So there you have it. That was Andrew Evanson. He's the Senior Operations Manager at Lancaster Car Insurance. Look him up online. If you've got a classic car and you need to get it insured, choose Lancaster. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you. Take care.
Ta-da.
Good.